Yeah, buddy. Just in case anybody, I'm just wait till people get into the class. Oh man, this is great. Mm. Gonna get all this stuff out the way. Think you guys can hear me? All right, so I'm still new to all of this, so post your questions below, and we're gonna kick it off in a couple seconds. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. I hope you guys can hear me just fine. Post your questions down below. Let me know. And we're going to jump into it in a couple seconds. All right. Let's jump into it. What up, LC? I see you, baby. Oh, now I'm hyped. All right, some of the gang is here. Yeah, shout me out, guys, because I was like Eminem just now. I was in the bathroom. I was looking in the mirror. You better lose yourself in the moment. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the crew's in the building. Let's get into it. Let's start off with tonight's show on the road, right? Patriots Rams. All right, let me just jump into that quick fast. And I got my pen and I got my calculator because I want to make sure we do this in a timely fashion. All right. I'm just going to go through it just in terms of value. Let's just start off with game script because, again, game script determines targets and targets just determines everything else, right? So game script that I see tonight, right? So with Patriots, it's going to be a low-scoring affair that I see. Jared Goff hasn't been good at all. He scored exactly 8 fantasy points in both of his previous matchups, including the Super Bowl, right? The only thing that's going to be a pain in the ass in trying to figure out is Cooper Kupp, right? Because Cooper Kupp, he tore his ACL. So, Belichick not being able to scheme against that's going to be very important and critical for tonight, right? So let's just tackle it from top values going down, right? If you have Lion Star, great. Let's just go into it, right? I'm DraftKings all the way. If you guys, I know a lot of you guys are FanDuel and whatnot. Love y'all too. Let's just get into it, right? So let's see. So showdown is tricky, right? The actual money doesn't really matter per se, right? Because with DraftKings, you need the top 6 slots, right? The top 6 people that's going to bang for your lineup and is going to give you the most bang for your lineup construction. Now, in the lineup constructions that I was doing today, you've got to determine the game script, right? So let's go to Goff. I don't see Goff doing well. I see 10 to 12 points. If he even does well above 8, even. Tim, I see you, buddy. Yeah, let's get into it. I see people's on their lunch break. Love it, man. I love it. Yeah, Goff, I don't really see it, but I would say make an extra line for him just in case because I have 25% exposure on Goff. Because I got caught last time in the last showdown. If you think about it, I have a hedge lineup. So a hedge lineup in showdown is if you have 2 stacks of both opposing teams, right? So if you have a wide receiver quarterback stack on one team, and then you have that wide receiver quarterback stack on the other team. So like with the Ravens Cowboys, right? So if you had, Lamar as captain, and then you had Marquise Brown, right, as your wide receiver tandem. Then on the other side, if you had freaking Andy, Butthole Andy, if you had him in the lineup too, with either Cooper or obviously what's his name? The other kid, right? Because I had the other kid in there. And the other kid banged in one of my other lineups. So if you had those 2 sacks, you'd have been good to go. The other two, you'd have been probably if you had Tucker Tucker did reasonably well. So if you had that, that's good to go. Newton, let's go down and speed this up. Let's see. Good old Cam. I have him in like 75% of my lineups. I have 75% exposure. But I think he could easily average around a good 15 to 20, if that. But I think it's going to be it's going to be a running game, low scoring affair, right? So I don't know. McVay, he can scheme well, but I think Belichick is going to have something for him. But have him in your lineups because it's showdown, right? And you're gonna need at least the top 6 guys to 15 points, right? Whoever can hit above 15 points, throw them all in your lineup. Let's go down. Woods, no, sorry. Let's above Woods. We have Cooper Kupp. He's at 9,600 on DraftKings. He's my X factor personally. I'm kind of giddy on him. And it's just because, Belichick can't scheme for something that he hasn't played against. And that kind of really messes up the game flow if he wasn't in the whole, Rams equation of the Super Bowl, right? So, he can only utilize Gilmore for one person. It was easier, for him to just man Woods. So it's going to be interesting how he's going to scheme both. I'm sure he's going to play the hot hand. If he sees, I think he's going to start off with Woods, and he's going to see how, who's the other cat? Whoever's guarding him, I think Jonathan Jones. Yeah, he might deploy Jonathan to guard him. I'm not too sure. But we'll see how that works out. But I like Kupp. He's my guy. Throw him in there. I wouldn't throw him as MVP or captain, but if you want to play around with your line construction, hey, have at it. But I like him tonight. Woods, I would have liked him if Kupp wasn't in there, but, I like him too. But again, right, the game script that I see tonight is going to be low scoring affair, kickers, running backs, maybe some tight ends, but I see running backs, Cam's going to be trying to run it because he's a big 6'6" guy, right? So, in order to move the chains, I don't think the wide receivers can get enough separation, right? Jacoby, I just don't see it, but let me not get there yet. Woods, he's going to be guarded by Gilmore, right? Happy Gilmore is just going to be all over him. How much he's going to be on him, I think is going to be determined by Kupp, right? How hot Kupp gets, by how the defense is playing him. I think, he might be shifty, where Belichick might shift him over. So you just never know, right? So, but I'm assuming he's going to be shattered all night. Crump, what's going on, Zach? I see you, baby. Yeah, now I'm hyped. Got all the gang in the building. All right. We got Dame at 8-8 on DraftKings, right? So, all right, 8-8 on draft. We got Dame Dash. I call him Dame Dash. I actually give these guys nicknames, right? Believe that. All right, Dame, he's at 8-8. I have him in about 60 to 70% of my lineups. So, 60, 70% exposure. Just because, again, game script, I feel a ground and pound both sides. Both egos. McVay, he's going to want to match up for getting humbled. He kept talking about it in a couple of interviews I saw earlier this week. He wants to move past it. He knows that, the reporters can't stop thinking about it. So, I think he's going to want to match up, ground for ground, because I just don't see them getting separation. But let's see. I like it. I think Dame can get about 50 to 75 yards. I can see him getting the tub today. All guessing, right? But I see that happening. Next one down the line, we have 8K Cam Akers. That's another one that I have 60% exposure on. That's right. Both kickers are questionable. Actually, one is out. That was going to be some news I was going to mention later. So I just found out that one of the kickers is out. I think I was talking about him earlier. Don't tell me Nick Folk. No, not Nick Folk. It was the other guy. He's out. They brought up the other guy from the kicking squad, from the practice squad, McGinnis, I think. And McGinnis, I don't see him on DraftKings, so I don't think he's in there. I don't know if he's on FanDuel, so I don't even think the kicker there matters. But let me see. Let me just scroll down really quickly to Folk since we're talking about it. Folk. I see nothing yet on Folk. He's got a questionable tag, but I'm thinking he jumps in because he's going to be needed. And again, since we're talking about it, he has one of the most consistent floors and baselines in there, right? If you look at his baseline chart for the last 8-9 games, I mean, you're seeing 7, 8, 8, 15, 1, 5, 7, 10, 8, 9. And then you go back. He's only had 2 games below 7, right? So, I mean, I like that kind of shit when I'm looking at graphs and charts because I'm a numbers guy, right? When I see a steady baseline, that's a calm heartbeat to me. So I've got Nick Folk in there. If you guys hear anything about how he's doing, either in between or after, definitely shoot me some updates on that. Let's scroll through. Woo! Time flies when you just going through this BS. All right, Daryl Henderson. He's at 7-4. Just on how Cam was used last week. I mean, 21 carries last week. I mean, he was getting most of the bulk work. I see that similar pattern going forward. I think Henderson is gonna. I mean, he only got 3 carries, right? And one of those 3 carries, it was a plunge in the end zone, right? It was one of those goal line things, right? So, I mean, it's luck of the draw, and Malcolm is going to be the odd man out, right? So, right. So he's on FanDuel. Next one down. So I'm not high on Darrow. So take it or leave it. Jacoby, not high on him either because I think old boy is going to be on him tonight. I think he's going to shadow him. May play off of him. I'm not too sure because I think McVay is going to use, what's his name, Ramsey? Yeah. I think Ramsey is going to shadow him, but I don't. These receivers can't get separation, right? So I think McVay, he normally mixes his coverages and his schemes, so he's going to probably see, is it going to be worth it? Can I play off of it? So it's going to be up to Cam to notice those coverages, right, on where Ramsey's at all times, right? So. We're going to see how that plays out. But for me, for cash, no. If you want to play with it for GPP, I've got 25% exposure on him. James White, I mean, he didn't even cross my radar really today. So, I mean, I to be honest, I don't have any exposure for him. So, I don't know what that's saying. I don't know what to tell you, but watch him go off. James. Good old Sweet Lou. Sweet Toes White. I mean, he didn't do anything in the Super Bowl, right, against the Rams. So, I mean, he didn't do anything in 2016 either in the matchup there. I mean, all of that, I mean, that's all, I mean, there's new personnel and shit. But, I mean, just not feeling him. So, take it or leave it. Josh Reynolds. So, here's the thing. So I'm up in the air between Josh and Van Jefferson, right? Because I think, these guys I think McVay is feeling Van a little bit more because he did get a little bit more touches last game, so I don't know if that means he was falling off. Josh was falling off the radar a little bit. So definitely look out for that if you want to split your exposure on that. Be my guess. I don't know, but Josh, he's not too high in my book. JC Jackson may be on him, I see some guys on the Line Star community, they high on him a little bit. So, I mean, we'll see about that. I'm not too sure. Tyler Higbee, he's at 5K on DraftKings. Wasn't really crossing my radar a little bit. Honestly, don't really have many lines on him. I'm trying to narrow my lines from 5 to 3. Showdowns is like a hot mess. So, you really luck of the draw. So good luck with that. I'm just not too high on Higbee versus a defense that's 4th against tight ends, right? Especially tight end ones. So, with a healthy Belichick defense, man, it's just going to be crazy. Sony Michel, no. Rams. So here's the thing. It depends on your game script. So as I go down, I'm looking at Rams at 4-4, DraftKings, and Patriots. So I have a couple. So based on your game script, right, I have different game plans under that game script, right? So I have different plans. So one of them is a hedge with low scoring, right? A low scoring hedge. So I have both Rams and Patriots defense. If you want to play with that, if you feel it's going to be a low scoring affair with some turnovers, then because you want to have a core, right? And you want to have some kind of central theme to your lines, right? You don't want to be inconsistent. I've seen a lot of players just fall to the inconsistencies of that. So just watch out for that. If you're going to play both defenses, then do that. So if you're going for a Rams line, then have Rams defense in there alone, right? Don't add Patriots defense or anything like that. If you're just going to go with a Rams, if you're envisioning the Rams winning tonight, right, then have all Rams players, right? So, for example, like one of my lines, I have a Rams line that I'm playing with, right? Definitely, I'm throwing in Rams defense. I have Woods. He's my 25% exposure if I'm gonna go with a Rams game script. Obviously, I have Cam Newton because I think he's gonna have at least 15 points. I got some Cup in there. And I've got some Damian Harris. So if you want to play around with that, you can play with that game script. A couple of these lines was with Matt Gay in it, so I'm taking him out. You can have a scoring hedge, like I told you earlier before. Some Cam Akers, I have a low scoring hedge, so you can play around with that. Boom. Some Demir Bird, I like him too. More GPP. Throw him in there, keep him around 25% exposure. But I think he could pop, so I think that can be big and good to go. All right, let's jump off of that. Let's go to main slate. Woo! So I'm just gonna go just off of the slates that's on online stuff. So we're just gonna start with the 1 p.m. and then we're just gonna flow to the 4 p.m. afternoon slates, right? So let's see. The first one that I see here is the Dallas Cincy game. Revenge. So I hate figuring out this guy so much. I hate this guy, friggin' Andy. Gingerbread Man. All right, this is a revenge game. So let's start off from high to low, right? So we got see, this is gonna be hard to figure out just with the single slate prices. So I guess I'm not gonna do the prices just based off of my memory. So Zeke, Big Zeke. If I'm remembering, I know his price was high enough for me. I like him. It just depends. it really does just depend on the game flow. Let's see, Amari. No, I'm just not a fan for main slate with these guys. Andy, you know what? Let me see what Andy's. Let me see Andy's price. Okay, he's 5'5". On DraftKings, I mean, I'm all by the price, so I mean, it just depends. He's low enough. I mean, he's low enough leverage for you to go there if you want to. Yeah, I have no problems with it. Let's see. But if I'm picking someone from this, man, I like CD. Because if I'm thinking main slate and I'm just picking one guy from all of these that stand out to me, it would be CD. I just really can't see his price right now. If I want to go for Andy with the revenge game script, it's a 1:00 game, so he's not under too much pressure. You can go there. I just hate what Zeke really does, just because he doesn't have Dak there, right? So I wouldn't even bother. But and maybe let me see what Tyler Boyd is doing. Doesn't really ooze off the radar to me, but you can definitely go there for GPP. Gio Bernard had 4 points last game. I just didn't like how that game script worked. Not catching any passes for negative yards last game against. I mean, Miami defense is a different defense from what he's facing. So I mean, if you want to go there, be my guest. But this game doesn't really catch me, right? So, and let me just take a quick look at the OU. What's the OU for this goddamn game? 42 and a half OU, right? So not too much scoring there. Enough said. On to the next one. What you got here? Houston Chi-Town. Let's go. Houston Bears. Yeah. All right, you know who I like. Let's start off with David. I like Montgomery. He's good. against a defense that's ranked 32nd against everything in life, right? They can't guard nothing. They're 30th against RB1s. So listen, I'm gung ho on David, man. It seems like, especially watching the last game in Showdown. I mean, he got his groove, with Money Mitch. So I mean, he got some passes and stuff too in there, which I liked as well. I expect that to continue against Houston because they're just giving up butt cheeks, right? So, and I think that's going to help Deshaun with the yardage. But he's not catching me for main slate. Not against that defense. And let me see. I just don't have any matchups. But Chicago is 26th against quarterbacks. So it's just hit or miss. But he's a no bueno for me, even though he's been doing well for the past 3 games, right? Allen Robinson, man, I just like all the receivers. I like all the receivers against Houston's defenders because the secondary is just shitty as ass, right? So, um, I mean, 24th against wide receiver ones. It's just, is Mitch going to find them, right? But one thing I do like, when I was watching the game, Mitch was trying to find Allen. He was definitely trying to find him. So, I mean, the 7 targets wasn't really trying to find him. 6 receptions for 75 yards. I mean, I think he's going to find him a lot more than 75 yards. I think my over-under on 75 yards, I think he's going to get about 90, close to a buck. Definitely he's going to be getting a lot more targets. Mitch, I think if I recall, he's in the 5s. He had 14 last game against Detroit. That kind of scares me a little bit. He had 267 yards last game, only 1 TD. First game back, he's at home against. He's against Houston defense. That's 13th. I don't know. He doesn't really move me. All right, Brandon. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Cooks, right? Because of the suspension with Fuller, right? So, I mean, look what happened. He had 8 targets last game. I had him, right? Shit the bed in my terms, right? I really hated that shit. 11 points. So after seeing that, I'm kind of off of him. If you guys want to just go ahead, be my guest. QT, David. I'm just going to talk about the people that move me, all right? So this game doesn't move me at all. I mean, just leave some comments in the comment section for any players that I miss. Because I'm Komet I like, right? Hey, 6 sleeper. I wish I had figured out. Ding, ding, ding. I like Komet, man, because I think he's low on price. I have to go back to see what's his price on DK. If you guys want to shoot me the price down there in the thing, but he's low. I think he's like 2,500 on DraftKings. I think I threw him in my line, just in my early look line. So definitely pick him up because I know he was being looked at. Money Mitch was at least trying to find him, and it makes sense because he's closer in his view. So he was easy to find. So definitely look at that. That's it. That's it here. All right, moving on. Next up, Cards Giants, the G-Men. I'm a little bit favorable to the G-Men, but just on a non-biased scale, let's go through Kyler. I mean, I just don't like him just primarily based off what Russell did. I mean, Russell is a slower version of Kyler, but I just look at patterns, right? If I see a certain pattern with a similar prototype, same body type and physics, right? I'm gonna get the same physics in my head, right? So that's my thought process. So I'm just following that little cheat code. So obviously he may do well, but I think the Giants are really doing well, quietly winning 4 in a row. So listen, and I'm closer to the field of New York. And I don't know, when New York fans, start getting happy, the groundswell here is unmistakable. So, I can see this defense really shaking out. And they're at home. Watch out for that space. If you're going with Giants defense, definitely I have Giants defense in my early look. And it's cheap as fuck. 2.6 on DraftKings. I don't know how much it is on FanDuel. FanDuel is just kind of crazy sometimes on the defenses, but it should still be cheap, right? Bradbury, he's showing out, showing himself a little bit. Yeah, who's on Arizona? I don't know. Oh yeah, D-Hop. Yeah, I don't know. It all depends on how they're able to contain Kyler, right? They did a good job of containing of Russell, you know. But Russell doesn't look to run. He runs to pass, right? And because Kyler is still fresh, second year in the league, Kyler runs to run, right? So that's the only different viewpoint. So you know, but he also runs to pass as well. But I don't know what's going on with his shoulder, but definitely look out for that. I don't know what's going on with Danny Penny's limited practice. This was as of 2 hours ago. Danny Jones, another limited practice, hamstring, limited, according to the beat writer. Availability. Yeah, when it comes to hammies, if he's limited, that's a good sign. But I'm not playing him anyway. So I mean, at your own risk. Sterling. I don't know. If he gets back in it, I see 13 or 15 points average there. I mean, he's getting targets. I mean, steady targets, man. So, last 5 games. I mean, he's even last game with Colt McCoy, he got 6 targets, 1 reception, but Goff over 250. I mean, even in the Super Bowl, right? I think he got under 250, if it was my recollection, right? And then in his prior matchup, he had like 1 something. So I personally, if I was a betting man, off the top of my head, no, Goff is not getting that at all. But you never know, you just never know. Ingram, I haven't really been playing Ingram, because he's always hit and miss, depending on what you're gonna get from the quarterback. But because the Giants got something going, man, but Arizona is 6th against tight ends, so you got to look at that. But Higbee, last game he had 12 points, so he doesn't stand out for me. Go at your own risk. Kirk, the chart is like a slide, so I quickly slide over him. Darius Slayton, I mean, I quickly look at his chart, I quickly pass over it, right? So that means they don't move me too much. Chase, yeah, I have nothing. Arnold, if you're trying to go low, well, doesn't move me. Moving on. Again, Giants defense, if you want that. Let's go. I really don't want to go here. All right, let's just fast forward through this. Panthers. Only one thing I really want to really talk about this game. Panthers, Broncos. To CMC or not to CMC? I'm glad he's not that 10K discussion. Let me just look at my notes real quick. As of 2 hours ago, he's expected to miss week 14, right? So if you have him in your lineups, probably get him out your lineups, right? Get him out your fucking lineups, right? So if anything, first thought in my head, if you want to put some Mike Davis, let me look at Davis real quick first before I go to Teddy, because I haven't used Davis in a minute. Right now his chart is on a kind of wave. It's kind of on the incline. Last game, he had 10 points against Minnesota. I expected more. Denver, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're going to get from Denver. Excuse me. Denver's defense tried last game. I really don't know. Let me see. Let me just look at. Let me see, Mike Davis. Let me actually see 6'4". 6'4 times 3. 6'3 is 18. 20. So he needs 20. Yeah, he needs 20 for value. So these valuations that I'm doing is just for cash value, right? Because you need a minimum floor projection, right? So on DraftKings, I'm projecting that. My lines, I expect my lines, and I'll go deep in depth in another discussion. But if I'm projecting a 160 line, because that's typically what I've seen, on DraftKings for cash. So we're looking at 0.0032 times 6.3. Yeah, he needs 20.16 for value. I think he could get that, but I don't know, the way how he's been slipping, he doesn't stand out on the radar for me. Jumping, moving on. If you guys got any Noah Fant that looks like Ghost Son, that joint was funny. He looked like Ghost Son on Power. I don't really watch Power, but I thought the shit was funny when I saw it. If you guys see his picture online, that boy looked like Ghost Son exactly. Boy, let's see. I like him because Carolina is 31st against tight end ones, right? And you like to see that. Even Rudolph. Oh, this is looking good. And I'm only surprised here because I didn't really even look at him. This is interesting. I'm about to write this shit down. Noah Fant. Yeah, I like him. Fant. 31st against tight ends. Yeah, man. Yeah, Rudolph, he had 13 points. TJ, he had 10 points. Gronk had 13. Kelsey had 28 in their prior matchups against them. So, he can eat if Locke can get it to him. And I think 7 targets last game is possible. I like him. Some people like Panthers defense. Against Locke, yeah. I'm looking at the comment section, but let me, whatever their defense is, Panthers defense. Boom. Panthers, boy, 2-9. If you want to spend your money, that's always good to go. Tennessee, Jacksonville. One of my favorite games on the slate, right? Let me just so I can write this down. One of my favorite games so I can write this down. If you guys, because I know you guys got shit to do. I got a short attention span. So just I'm putting this down time. 32 minutes into it. I'm talking about one of my favorite things on the slate, right? Titans, Jags, right? I love the OU in this slate. If it's the 2 games, just so I can get it out the way. The two games that I'm looking at, this game and the Jets game, right? The Jets Seahawks, right? Just have a line, just throw everybody, all of those players, throw them all in there, right? And just have a field day just to see how that line runs. But let's start off with Tennessee. The OU is 52 Vegas, so they're with us, right? So they're also, I like using Vegas because obviously you want to see how other people are thinking too, right? So obviously they're seeing a high scoring slate as well. So that's always good. So this should be easy to go. I'm not even going to go into specifics because, the only guy I'm going to do, Henry. I like him. Man. The only disappointment for me, like I said on Line Star, in week 2, he had 25 carries for just 84 yards, right? Break that down, it's like 3 yards a carry. That's not good, especially for his value. I think he's like 9K now on DraftKings. That means he needs 27 for value. 27 or damn near 30. One of those shits. Damn near high for me, right? But it's the Jags, right? Cook still went to work. But if you notice, that work that Cook had last game, it was hard work because I had Cook the whole way. And Cook only finally got those points in the 4th quarter, right? Apparently, they finally got it going. But that first half was a struggle, right? So just watch out for that. But I like Henry, right? I'm not opposed to it. And, I'll just limit my exposure, right? So, but I like him. Definitely GPP. If you want to do him for cash, I just have better for cash. I have better running backs, and you want to know what those better running backs are? One of them, Robinson. Woo! I like James JR with the AR. I love him. I love this guy, man. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm not prisoner of the moment. I like this guy and how he produces, man. I know how it looks. His last two games have been good, right? Coincidentally, with Glennon in there, right? Ding, 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 right? Because you can just look at the stats itself, right? His last 5 games prior to Glennon being there: Houston, 15 points; Packers, 16 points; Pittsburgh, 11 points. Now with Glennon, with the Browns, 26. With the Vikings, 22. So that's looking good, right? My only thing is you're not gonna have too much meat on the bones because I think he's like 7K, something like that. Let me see if I'm not missing anybody. All right, good. Yeah, he's high, right? His price starts rising, so you also got to watch, the price variation. But I like this play with Glennon because Glennon can sling the rock, right? So I see a couple things happening here, right? High scoring games, quarterbacks, right? Tannehill, I'm gonna get him right. I have a line with a Tannehill AJ stack, right? So get that in there because I have a little sixth sense, maybe AJ, maybe breaking the slate a little bit. I don't know. That's my bold prediction. Because that boy refuses to go down. He's like Derrick Henry on crack when he runs. I don't know what's going on with that boy. So yes to those two. Tannehill, if you want to do those combos, great for cash and GPP. All right. Corey Davis, he had a great game last game, 28 points. He never follows up with a great game afterwards. I just don't see it, but it could happen. But even with AJ was out in week 2, right, and he still only had 12 points. So he had the chance to be the primary receiver, and he failed it. So that's like a red flag for me, right? So, but we talk about main slate. I have Mike Glennon for GPP, right? I think he is safe as fuck, right? Because you're just gonna get. His first game out, he had 18 points. Second game out, he had 15 points. If I did the math prior, he had he's like 5'1", something like that. Boy, I need some drink. Talking all this much. Yeah, 5'1". I think that's. If I recall the math, that's 17, 18 points for cash. That's good to go there. Colin Johnson, ding, 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 ding. Hey, listen. So I had Colin Johnson, 6 sleeper from last week. If you guys had waited a whole hour and 6 minutes till the end of that video, you would have gotten Colin Johnson, right? You would have gotten you a cool 12, 13 points, baby. So, I'm going back to the well. I hate going back to the well after a 6 sleeper kind of does really well. But I really like that connection. He's 6'6", right? And even though DJ Chalk, he's 6'4", I had Chalk in a GPP lineup, and I was just shocked that he didn't even hit double digits, right? So just beware of that. I think I keep forgetting this kid's name with the G. Glennon. I think he's just loving that connection. 6'6", throw that ball up there. I think it's a 6'7". Glennon, I think is a height thing, and he's like, let me just lob it to him like Des Bryant back in the day with Romo, right? So I think everybody's eating off of each other when the quarterback is successful, and I think because the quarterback can sling that rock, I'm going back to the well with him because he's 3'6" on DK. So his price is rising, so watch out with about that. You're not going to get as much meat on the bones like you would have in last game. So definitely watch out with that. Obviously, LaVisca and all those guys not on my radar. Anytime these guys are not on my radar, they end up popping. So who knows, right? So, but those are my fan favorites, right? Also tight end 2. Look out for shags, right? So if you're trying to do a super bully lineup, and for those people who don't know that 6 lingo, I just be naming shit, right? If you have a bully lineup, guys, don't hit me up about bullying, okay? I've been before, right? I get it, right? So, but bully lineup just meaning if you're just stacking a whole bunch of luxury players, top tier, right? If you're just stacking a whole bunch of Debos. Next Friday, if you guys watch the movie, all right, whole bunch of luxury people in there, and maybe you put a cheap defense, right, a cheap quarterback, maybe Glennon, right? Put a cheap defense, DraftKings, maybe you put 2-6, maybe Giants defense. I think that's as low I'll go, really, from what I remembered, right? And then you sack everything in between. You put Shags. I think Shags is at 2-5, right? But if you look at Shags, right, James O. Shags, O. Shags Hennessy, I call him. Let me see. Shags Hennessy. He had 8 points. So if you had him last game, right, he would have gotten you sweet value, right? Oh no. Oh, great. Devin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Jeez, great. No. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Courtney. Yeah. I gotta go look at that vibe. All right, so Shags, I like that. All right, moving on. If you guys wanted a cheap tight end at 2-5, right? That's for Jacksonville. All right. Next one. Minnesota Bucks. Because I didn't really have anybody really from. I really didn't have anybody in my line from here, just because. But I'll just run through it with just like yes nos. Wow, we just going through yes nos. All right. If you guys have further questions, just hit me up in the comments. Dalvin to cook or not to cook? I'll wait till next week. I'm good because I think he's like 9K to the Mars. I'm good. Let's see. Nope. Tom Brady. Boy, he lost 2 in a row. Listen, I forgot what was his price, but listen, I wouldn't bet against it. He had 26 points last game. Listen, man, against Glennon had 15, Bridgewater had 14. He's got some great receivers. I don't think Minnesota can hold him. They come into town and and they're ranked 27th. Let's see. Wow, 5th against quarterbacks. So that's kind of different. I mean, Tom Brady's not on my radar for main slate, so that's a no for me. I'm talking about on my radar for main, right? Cash. Kirk, if y'all want to flirt with danger, go ahead, be my guest. JJ, the gritty man, love him, and his stock been soaring. He's go. I mean, it's a shitty ass Bucks defense, right? Secondary, right? The front four is a great front four. The front four can get to Kirk Cousins, which I think they may be able to, which might be able to save the secondary. But the secondary is so shitty. I obviously I think Kirk Cousins, they're going to game plan for that. They're going to know that the secondary is shitty, but the front four, they're gonna have to do quick passes, right? So maybe Thielen, slot guy. Watch that there. He's a slot guy. Thielen, he leads. I think he leads the league in red zone touchdowns. So definitely throw Thielen in there. JJ been coming along, but I just don't see it this week. But GPP, you can toss these 2 guys in there. Evans, he's been a steady 15 to 18 points for you. So you guys can knock that out. I don't know. He's been averaging 11, 8 targets, 9 targets. Last game against KC, 9 targets, 3 receptions for 50 yards. 2 TDs. He had 2 TDs last game, so he's been on a 3 TD game streak. For some reason, I see that ending tonight. I just don't see it. Minnesota is 9th against wide receiver ones. Yeah. I have nothing to say about Rojo right now. I don't know. He's not on my radar, but just doesn't stand out to me. But if he stands out on your radar, he had 17 points last game, because he had a tub, 66 yards last game, 18 against RB1s. Doesn't stand out for me for main slate, right? Because I just like security, right? Give me security, right? I don't like shooting for the moon because we're gambling every week, right? Some of us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday games, Thursday games, right? So if I'm only playing once a week or once every 3 weeks, then I'll shoot for the moon, right? And have some GPP stuff. But if you like safety, go ahead. Antonio, I'm biased. I just like Antonio every week. So I think every week Antonio is going to do awesome, right? Even though he shit the bed with 3 points last week. I just don't think anybody on this planet can hold this man. So, I don't even know what's his price right now, but I would play him. Leonard, he's been having butterfingers, so he's no bueno for me. Kyle, I don't know what's going on with Rudolph 5 hours ago. Remains sideline, foot. Huh. On the plus side for the Vikings, Irv Smith is back. So that's good. Irv is back. In Irv, I think he's like, he's like 2,900 on DK. He's like cheap, right? So watch that space, right? So the 3M, right? So yeah, matchups, minutes, and movement. So this is the movement part. So Kyle, I don't know what's going on with him. Game against Bucks now looks murky. Yeah, so and usually if he misses Thursday games, so look out for tomorrow. So if he remains either limited or he doesn't go tomorrow, that's no bueno. So look out for Irv there. Next up, let's skip all that. KC Miami, interesting game. Yeah, every time I don't go with my homeboy, he just takes off, man. I really don't know what's his let me just hop back to main slate just so I can see his price tag. 8-1, right? 8-1, 8-3 is 21, 8-3 is 21. Yeah, so he does not need 21 points. Hold tight. No. 8-1. All right, so he needs 26 points for cash value. I see him hitting, man. I'm not too sure. Hold on, let me see. All right, so last 5 games he's had 39. My eyes is crazy. 39, 33, 25, 35 against the Bucks. 20, is that 22? Against Denver. Denver played them tight because I think they're like divisional foes, and I saw that. He looked really flustered. I think he's gonna bounce back. For 25 points. I mean, he's been averaging. He had 30 plus games. 3 out of his last 5. I mean, you can't really go wrong, but it's Miami's defense, right? So shit, And he's going over there to Miami, so just watch out for that. I mean, he wasn't high in my book, but yeah. Godspeed with that. I like Kelsey. All right, so I'm just going with the guys that stick out of my. I like Kelsey. I don't like Hill. Why didn't I like Hill? Because I think he was facing Howard, right? Even though he's a fast little bastard, if you put bracket coverage on him, right, you just respect that man and just fucking play deep, right? But I think Xavier, he's really good. He's really good in tight bump. I was gonna say bumper to bumper, like we're using a car, like tight coverage, right? I think he can do press man really, really well, right? So and Flores got his defense looking like old Belichick defense, right? And he worked for Belichick, so I'm not really surprised. You know what I'm saying? For his defenses, but for his defense to come together that fast, watch that space, man. They can create some turnovers. Only one guy I like out of this that stood out, Kelsey. Throw Kelsey in there because guess what? They're going to respect Hill so much. They're going to play back coverage, which allows the under routes. So look out for the underneath routes. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me throw up Kelsey. Let me see what's his. I don't know what's his salary on FanDuel. So check it out there at 7.4 DraftKings. So that means times 0.22. He needs 23 for value. I think he's gonna kill that. He's gonna kill 23 points for value. And I think you're gonna get some extra meat on the bones. Check this out. Just for kicks, right? Last 5 games. Man, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last 8 games, 27, 22. One game against Denver, right? The first game, 6 points. Then 27, 28, 29. Then against Tampa Bay, he had 18. Womp womp. And then he followed it up back against Denver in a rematch with 30. Right. So lock him in for cash. Right. I'm good there. Anybody I missed? Oh well, holla at me. Boom, 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 boom. KC. Oh, okay. We went through that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. All right. If I miss any games, fine. Sue me. All right. So let me jump to the afternoon slate. All right. Let's just jump straight to Seattle Jets. And because I'm an ex-Jet fan, because I live in this fucking Jersey, I just got to deal with my former team just looking fucking utterly fucking pathetic, looking like friggin' how do you let Ruggs go, right? How do you play? That's why Greg Williams was fired, right? Because he's such an asshole, and I'm glad he got fired. But everybody needs to get fired from that. Yeah, I hope y'all don't mind. All of them needs to get fired, but not fired yet because you still want to play all Hawks in this game, right? Let me go, Russell. Throw Russell in because the Jets are 32nd against life, right? Except for their run game, right? I think Houston has a worse run game, run defense, than the Jets. The Jets can stop the run. As an ex-Jet, I can say they have pride in how they stop the run. Just the secondary is just banged up. Rookie on backup rookie is guarding. That's how Ruggs was able to go by, right? How you gonna just leave that backup rookie just on the back end, just on his own? Why are they just leaving him and blitzing? How are you just blitzing and leaving Ruggs and you're making Derek Carr, Lord of Bums, making him just look like a superstar in the last play? Like this shit just annoys me to the high. Anyway, sorry, I just had to vent. I got nobody to vent to, so I'm gonna vent to y'all. Fuck it. All right, Wilson, he's a go. Lock him in. DK, lock him in. Right? Absolutely. I got nothing else to say on him. If y'all got any questions, hit me up. Tyler, he's my only thing. I would say lock him in. More GPP. He's not as heavy to me as DK because DK is just a big body that the Jets, I don't think the Jets, they got practice squad guys. I don't think they built for this life. I don't think they want this smoke that's about to happen to them by what this big ass 240 DK Metcalf is about to bring to them. Right? And then you add Tyler. So what's going to happen, right? So now the defense is going to shift to how DK's playing, right? Oh my gosh, DK's just, we can't stop him. Let's shift the defense over to DK. And what's gonna happen? All you need is one scramble play from Russell, right? I could just see it. Scramble from Russ in the pocket. And the Jets, because they just fucked up in gap integrity, they're just gonna lose all gap integrity, right? And they're just gonna be like, oh, let's just get Russell. Let's just go get him. And guess what's gonna happen? Oh, Russell's gonna be like, I got you, bitches, and he's just gonna throw a long bomb, and you're just gonna see Tyler Lockett, one of these fucking great 60-yard bombs and catches as they typically do. And he's due, by the way, for one of these 4 TDs. And I think it can happen when everybody's looking at Metcalf. How DFS life works, it can easily shift to Tyler. So look out for that. Obviously, I'm not really even looking at the run game. So the only way the run game can work for me is if all of these passes are working so well and Russell ends up at the 5-yard line, which always happens to the Jets. And then it's an easy running back situation, just ground and pound. And that's where I think Carson can win against that Jet defense. If goal line stands, I don't see him having the will against that big ass guy, right? So, but no for me. All right, on the Jets side, right? Who can you get away with? It's possible you can get away with all of them, right? I think. But hold on, let me check to see what kind of OU game this is. 47 on Vegas OU. I like my OUs at 50. So it's one or two things going on, right? It's either Vegas tends that this is going to be a super low scoring game, or, which I think is likely, obviously, it's Seattle's going to be doing all the scoring, right? Right, and I think that defense is kind of clicking with Adams, and think that even though I still think they're still kind of shitty, right? But I think Seattle is going to be doing all the scoring, and because they're home and the Jets, I think the Jets, based on just what just happened, man, and now they're going on the road. How do you have the will to play? You know what I'm saying? You like two more games till the end of the season. I'm just picturing my head. I like to picture myself if I was in that locker room. And if I was in that locker room right now and I'm a veteran and seeing that bullshit happen, I'd have been like, all right, fellas, all right, let's get it. All right, I don't know what to tell you. Every man for themselves. I mean, you're gonna be on tape. You know what I'm saying? Like your free agency's coming. You know what I'm saying? And we all got to show ourselves on tape. So let's play hard. But listen, like come on, like Russell is just gonna be throwing bombs, and you got somebody like Metcalf. Come on, man. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a hot mess. I would be shocked. Listen, if you even went with the Seahawks defense, I don't know, if you wanted to take the heart out of the Jets, but let's see on the Jets, who would I go with on the Jets? Listen, I was going to say Ty Johnson because he was starting, he was going to get the buckload, but because they're going to be down early, they're going to be passing early, right? And he was more of a run guy. Who on the Jets? I like Crowder. He started going back to Crowder, which encouraged me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I like that he went back to him. The previous game in his first game, then look at that bastard. It all pissed me off because I had Herman that game. And then when I don't go with Crowder, he went with Crowder, threw him 2 tubs. So I don't know. He used to go to him, but because all of his receivers are healthy now, you got athletic rookie Mims there. So I think if he wants to throw his weight back in the game, Mims is that deep threat. So look out for Mims if you want GPP value. I mean, Donald, he's going to want to get back into this game, man. So he's going to want to try and test a home run or two. And I've watched Mims. He can catch some 50-50 balls like a Des Bryant. I've seen him do some stuff against Belichick. So look out for that. Herman, I had him last game. I don't know what's going on with his life. Let me look at him. Another limited session. Okay, maybe it might be maintenance work on him. Might be just an injury designation. Look out for tomorrow and watch that. Will Disley, that's it for me. But y'all know what to do with that. All right, let's see. Indy Vegas. Oh man, I hate this guy so much. I just want to talk. I just want to pontificate about this bum. Obviously, y'all know I'm. This is a disclaimer to you guys. I am biased, right? Because I hate this guy so much. So probably play him. Because every time I'm biased with one guy, and this guy I'm talking about is Carson. Carson. See, I'm even getting this name wrong because I don't care about this guy. Derek motherfucking Carr. I hate this guy with such a passion. Oh my gosh. Oh, and he had 35 points last game, which is good. I like this. I like that he had 35 points, right? So people are just going to be prisoner of the moment. You're going to have some newbies that's just going to be looking at it like, oh my God. Oh my God. See, I did my little Kevin Hart impersonation. Oh my God. Oh my God! Oh my God! He had 35 points. Oh my God! I'm gonna play me some Derek Carr. Don't play him, right? It's gonna be against Indy. Well, if you want to play him for GPP, have at it, right? GPP is always stabbing the dogs, but I'm not playing him. And I'd never play him, right? I would have played him against the Jets, but I had better people. Obviously not. And given Indy, Philip, I like Philip, man. Old Man Rivers. Old Man Rivers. Finally using my deep voice for something, right? Old Man Rivers. All right. I like laughing at myself, at my own jokes. Philip Rivers practices without limitations. That's funny. He looks like a limitation, that guy, man. He looks like he throws injured, but he still gets his passes through. Averaging, listen, 288, 295, 285 last 3 games. Houston, 285. Yeah. I mean, I'm with it. I forgot what's his price. I think it should be like 6 something by now, but I like it. I mean, if Sam Darnold could muster up 23 points against that fucking Raiders, come on. Come on, Philip. You could give me 20. You can't let Mono Man Sam get 23 points. Come on, right? Let's see, Waller. Waller's the next one up on this. I don't know these prices, but just going off of it, I mean, I can't even really look at the last 5 tight ends here because the numbers here for the last on line score, they kind of skewed a little bit. I mean, Fells. I mean, Janu. I mean, wasn't he injured? I think Tanyan. I mean, you got Brett Favre back there. I mean, Tanyan. I mean, he had 15 points. I mean, Janu has been a non-factor. Andrews, he's been a non-factor early. So I'm just not buying it, even though I have tremendous respect for what's that guy? What's that guy's name on defense who can tackle his ass off? Anyway, they can tackle, right? Which is different from the 200 yards Waller was getting, right? Because nobody on my fucking ex-Jets can tackle. It's all rookies. But I forgot this kid's name, and I'm gonna remember. He can. It's gonna pop into my head. If anybody can remember the names, if we can be mind readers for the guy on Indy, the linebacker, I forgot his name. Just toss it in the comments. If anybody's still watching, just let me know. I have my hesitation. Jonathan Taylor, I like him. I like the output. I like it. I think Phillip would rather, he would be happy giving it off, than throwing all that much, even though he does pass a lot. So look out for that. I mean, he had 23 points, which is great. 23 points against Houston, even though that is Houston. Houston suck ass. They always give up points. I don't know, but, the Raiders are fourth, RB1's interesting. I like him. Yeah, go ahead, concussion, yeah. That's right. I'm just looking over my prior notes that I had him on Jonathan Taylor. If you have line star, you go over the notes yourself. RB1, the Raider matchup, misleading. That's right. Because Gore did have a concussion early on, and Ty Johnson still ran for 100 yards. That's right. See, that's why I put notes on line star, right? Just so that I can easily go back from my forgetful ass. I can look back at my notes, right? So, right. That's right. Because I was watching that silly ass game, and I remember Ty Johnson was running. He had 100 yards on the Raiders, so they can be run on. And he did remind me of more a mix of Nyheim Hines and Taylor. He looked like a big body, but he looked just as quick as Hines. So but I like Taylor. I like Hines. I like them both. Aguilar, I've never really played him because he's just been too inconsistent. Pittman, I love Pittman. Pittman, love him, man. But, his price has been going up. So his price per production, because everybody's been noticing now. So the algorithm's just been upping his ass. So, Ruggs inconsistent, probably going up against Rose. Booker, he's going to be taking a backseat right back to, did I skip? I did skip because Derek Carr pissed me off so much. I skipped everybody else, huh? Josh Jacobs, is he back? Right? I think. He resumes practice. This was as of 17 minutes ago. Josh Jacobs resumes practicing. Okay, so that's good. On a Thursday for his ankle, that's always a good sign. Devontae Booker, yeah, he's being lying to lead. Yeah, boom. I think he'll be back. But I guess that defense, proceed at your own risk. Ty Hilton, I remember when I looked at him at 3.9, right? When and I was like, damn, son, like, yeah, his price point just, he just looks like that kid. I forgot the basketball player. What's his name? That was homeless. It was just looking sad. His price point, but look at his price point now, man. Like, he's doing well. Last 2 games, 18. Against Tennessee, Houston. Whew, Rivers is trying to find him now. 11 targets. Can we make it 3 in a row? I mean, this would be a good GPP play, man. I got to remember to play him. Definitely. I'll watch him on the board. Look, my man, Leonard. Woo! My man. I appreciate you. If I had $1,000, I'll just throw it to you guys. That was good. I appreciate it. Darius Leonard, my man. Yeah, I never forget him too. I forget one. Oh no, I'm not. Let's yeah. So I'm gonna tackle NO Eagles and Green Bay Detroit. Those gonna be. Oh shit, no. Damn, we got a huge afternoon slate. Well, huge enough. God damn, 6 games. All right. If you guys want some afternoon hammer, for depending on your exposure, proceed with caution here. What's going on here? I'm so mad at Mr. Boat on Michael Thomas last game. If you guys notice, I mean, the fuckboy, I mean, he had the same points as his prior matchup with the Atlanta. Pissed me off. 22 points. Same thing. Same amount of catches, damn near same amount of targets, 11. Same amount of yards. I think he had 105 last game. He had 104 the first game with Atlanta. That fucking pissed me off, man. So you guys, if you guys had Michael Thomas, hey, congratulations, fuck you. Not just kidding. I love you guys, right? So this week against Big Play Slate, he got roasted by what's his face? DK gave him the business. I really was giving Slay high hopes. I really bigged him up on Twitter, looked like a fool. But I don't really care because I really thought that, because somebody had called him out, one of the commentators called out Slay. So I really thought Slay was gonna step up and be a man. You know what I'm saying? At least punch DK in the face. I would have given him an elbow in the throat or something. Like, you can't just abuse me like that, partner. Who you think you are? Just abusing me? So let's go. Taysom. I don't know how he's been surviving. 28, 15, 24. No, 20. No, I'm reading that wrong. Gosh, I'm not even going to claim that. 26, 18 against Denver. And he followed it back up with Atlanta with 24. Atlanta's shitty secondary. Atlanta's secondary got slightly better. Let me tell you something. Philly is on a downslide. I wish Carson was back, man. I so wish, man. It hurts my heart. I wish Carson Wentz was still in this game. I would have just went with the Saints defense. I mean, it was just like a simple cheat code. I mean, I was living for like the past 4 or 5 weeks just off of it before anybody else was on that cheat code. Because I didn't say anything. Because I usually don't say anything until the third week, right, with defenses. Because it doesn't really matter, but. So I don't know what you're gonna get with this kid. I saw him last game, looked really flustered, throwing it down. I think maybe some option. You're gonna be seeing a lot of options from this kid. Passing, short passes. If you're thinking dump offs, right? All right. So Taysom, not a fan. Michael, kind of a fan. These will all be GPPs. This entire game. Would be GPP plays, any of these players. Jalen, yeah, I'm not he did have 10 points. Oh, so I never really looked at his stats, right? So obviously he can run. He ran for 30 yards, but he had over 100 yards rushing, coming in and subbing in for Wentz, right? So that is interesting. Miles, I don't know. I mean, rushing yards 85, 66, 15, 31. Splitting with Boston Scott. I mean, against this defense, no bueno for me, man. I'm good. I don't know how much he's gonna get. Maybe with the second team that he's been practicing with, that Jalen, maybe him and Rhaegar. The two Jalen's. I know. I'm sure they've joked about that. We're the two Jalen's. And they probably hit it off. So they may have some chemistry. Look out for that. And he had 10 points. He was getting some. No, he didn't have 10 points. I'm looking at the wrong one. No, Jalen. Here we go. Nope, never mind. He had like one target, one catch. Yeah, so I would just stay away from this game. Maybe the Saints defense, if you're feeling froggy, all the better. All right. Next one. All right, that bad man, Brett Favre. Right, of course. I'm Aaron Rodgers. If you want no headaches, right? If you just want no headaches, you don't want to worry about your line. You don't want to worry about your quarterback. Safety. Play him. Play Aaron Rodgers. Just play him. If you don't want to stay glued to your TV and oh my God, what's my quarterback going to do? Is halftime? Play him. He's safe, man. I'm not even going to go into the numbers. His price is getting up there, but like I said, he needs about 25 for value. But if you want safety, 23 points is good enough for me. I'm Gucci there against this horrible. Now I would say though, I would caution because Bevel is in there now, right? And they've been playing better since the Belichick monster is gone, right? He ran back to Belichick, right? Because there's no more monster back there, right? So I watched them last game. They were playing like if a weight was lifted off their shoulders. So definitely look out for that. But I mean, if it was any other quarterback, I would have been like, just watch out, man. The Lions been playing with some spirit. They've been playing with some heart, right? And I think and Bevel, he looks like fun, dancing around on the sidelines. In my little Suge Knight voice, dancing around with little shiny pants, dancing around. So watch out for them. He brings some energy, and with a new head coach, new changing of the guard. Look out for that. All right, but I mean it's Aaron fucking Rodgers, right? So I think he's still gonna get you another 3 tubs, maybe if that. My only thing is Adams, right? That's just such a high price point. Only reason why I remember it because it was so goddamn high, like New York City rent, right? He is New York City rent, right? Who wants to live in New York City? Not I. I mean, I love the culture. I love the clubs. This is Devontae Adams, right? He is like going to a New York City club, right? If you want to, if you want to pay $40 just to get into admission, if you want to pay $75, for a bottle of Jack, for a Long Island with Coke. I mean, that's Devontae Adams. He's high price. He's like bougie. I like McDonald's. So you're not gonna get McDonald's. You're getting sushi with these guys. So if you want sushi, go with Devontae. Right? He's just too rich for my blood. I like safety. But I'm not opposed to him because it's the Lions, right? So, but he would be a definite GPP if y'all like sushi. I mean, I just like Aaron Jones. I mean, Detroit sucks against the run. It's just that Jamal Williams. I don't know what's going on, man. Like how they just keep shuffling the deck like that annoys me because every time I always get them wrong. So proceed with, at your own risk. I forgot what his price was. If it was still high, I mean, I'm staying away, right? It's just not cash play for me, but I can see you. You go there if you want to. Detroit is 32nd against RB1s. Yeah, 1 minute they start him, 1 minute they don't start him. Bangs him. Yeah, I like him. I'll go with him. Stafford. Yeah, I mean, I doubt he doesn't enthuse me, but you never know. When he's going up against Green Bay. Let me see. Last year he had 30. Last year, the last one, no, 17 points in week 2. He still threw for 244, 2 tubs and a pick. I can see that. That's about average. Not good enough for me. I'm good. DeAndre Swift. I don't know. Adrian Peterson was like, my boy was sounding and looking funny. He wasn't looking right. I don't know if he was trying to throw salt. Peterson doesn't sound to me to be that kind of guy. So look out for that. But 2 hours ago, let me see another limited session. This was as 2 hours ago. I'm gonna speed read. Back-to-back limited practices. That's good. Back-to-back limited practices. Probably monitoring him. With Karen Johnson returning back to practice in full, AP healthy. Yeah, they have the luxury of those 2 other backs. Yeah, don't force it. Don't force it. Don't force it. I never like forcing players. Same thing with Galladay. I don't know what you're gonna get. Oh, Galladay, as of 2 hours ago, still not practicing. No, if he's not even touching the field as of a Thursday, forget about it. I just don't know what you're gonna get with Jones. He killed it last week when I didn't have him. I'm not too sure if I'm planning on playing him with Alexander because I think Jair Alexander's playing. No bueno for me. TJ, I had TJ last game and he's popping. He's rising superstar. I forgot what was his price. I like Lazard, man. I like Lazard. He takes the pressure off. You know, he takes the pressure off. I like him, but is he gonna be able to attain enough of value? That's critical. I'm not too sure. But he's just gonna keep throwing to Devontae. So but also look at Detroit is good against some tight end ones. Third, but again, the quarterbacks throwing to these guys, these tight ends. I mean Jimmy Graham, Darren Fells, Ian Thomas. I'm good. So look out for that. I mean, it is Detroit, right? So, all right. Peterson, Jamal Williams, all up in the air. Still determining on the movement on Swift and anybody else. All right, that's good. Next one, Atlanta. Let's see if I can speed through this one. Herbert, I see a bounce back. Play him. Keenan, I have him absolutely. All right, he's one of my absolutely's with AJ Brown. I'm playing a line where I'm stacking all of them. Right, AJ, Keenan. I forgot who was my other one. I'm throwing in there, but definitely Keenan because he's gonna want to go back to Keenan after the horrible game against Belichick. So he's gonna go back to his well. Love it, Matty Ice. I have nothing to say. Calvin. He's a steady 17 to 18 points. Determining on what you get with Julio. Julio gave you 15 points last game. Just not the same. Whoa! As of 4 hours ago, Julio another DMP. But he's always been held out. I think Fridays is your telltale. But I'm good, man. Don't take the chance on it. Don't take the chance on it. Austin Eckler. Hey, if you guys took my advice, hey guys, one thing I cherish some advice is that are my best that I love is the people that I tell you to stay away from. Right? I don't always get them right, but when I'm sure about something, I knew that Eckler game script last week. I knew it, something in my bones. I was like, oh, it was hurting. My bones was itching, even though bones don't itch. But I was itching. I was like, don't play him, guys. Don't play him. Don't play him. It's all game script, right? So numbers can be deceiving, right? So everything behind numbers is context, right? So when you look at the context, you got to look at the game script. Game script determines targets. So if you looked at Eckler's game script, right, those high targets was all determinant on when the team was behind, right? If you look at the game against Carolina, he had like 11 targets. They were behind, and they lost because they were behind, right? If you look at this game, I really don't see him being behind, right? So, I you want to load him up if you want to. I'm not opposed. I just think they're kind of good. Atlanta's pretty good at defending the run, but they're really shitty against the pass, right? So if Hibbert plays it, if he disguises his screens and dump offs well, I think Eckler can eat on the under routes, right? And he's great at yards after carry. So definitely look out for that. Mike Williams. I mean, he had his chance last week. I mean, his Belichick defense. I mean, with Gilmore guarding Allen, I figured Mike would have some chance to eat, but did nothing. Gurley, I don't know, was 2 hours ago. As of 2 hours ago, another limited practice. So definitely look out for that. It's all determined tomorrow. I like looking at Friday's practices, so just to see if they at least show up for a limited end, because a lot of this can easily be maintenance related. So I'm not too sure. If he was playing, maybe he might pop, maybe he might not. But just know that the Chargers are ninth against RB1s, so I wouldn't really go there for Maine. Hunter Henry against the ninth as well. Atlanta is, and they're allowing 22% more fantasy points to tight ends when they're away, right? So definitely look out for that. I'm good. He did sink last game, didn't do well at all. Only had one reception, 2 targets for 5 yards. That's a bummer. Not main slate. Anybody else that I'm looking at lower? Guyton. Excuse me. He's deep routes to me. Right? So he's definitely hit or miss. GPP. I'm not even gonna look at him. All right, and for the last but not least, all right, we finally made it. Shit, if any of you guys made it this far, yo, I love you guys, man. Like, I wish I could give you each of you guys $1,000 just because you guys stayed this long. Like, hey, I could be like Oprah. You get 1,000. You get $1,000. So that would be like 6,000, right? I appreciate you guys staying on. Right, last game. All right, let's knock it down. So let me see. All right, the one guy that stands out to me is the guy that I've always been using for the past few weeks. Oh, can't spill the weed. Beautiful. Almost spilled that. McKissick. Love him. I had him last game in Showdown. Gave me some good money there. So look out for McKissick, man. Because he's going to be getting the dump offs. I did see Barber in there. I don't care. It's going to be the same role, right? Because coaches are routine, right? So nothing's going to change, right? Most likely Barber is going to get, the first look, right? He's going to get first and second downs. And McKissick is still going to maintain his third down, value. And, teams do go to third down eventually at some point, right? And I think he's going to be leaned on enough. Even though it's San Francisco, I don't see Barber establishing any runs. So definitely look out for that. So, as far as this game, this should be easy. The only thing that stood out to me from this game was McKissick. I like Logan just for his last performance. I don't know if that was maybe breakout, but when you go 9 for 9, I really look at the targets to completions because that just helps me a little bit with chemistry, right? You go 9 for 9 in the tub. I mean, that means for 98 yards, you guys were in super in sync, right? Like a boy band. These guys was like a boy band, right? I don't know how they're gonna do against San Fran because they're number one against tight end ones, And I remember this game with Knox, that Buffalo game, and Knox he made a hell of a. It was an out pass, right? So because Allen was at the 5-yard line from what I remember, and he just threw like a simple 2-yard throw to Dawson Knox. So it didn't really. It was good defense, on the tight end all day, right? So he didn't really pop like that, but he did have some open looks and he had an amazing play. Do I like Logan this week? Not particularly. I can see some regression, absolutely. I think this is his first time facing him. I'm not high on it, and I'm not too sure. I think he had a price increase. Jordan Reed. I think I liked him. Oh, wait a minute. Revenge! I completely forgot. Revenge! Dun, 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 dun. Even, I'm always big on revenge games, right? Even though they're shitty as hell, fucking revenge games. I love going revenge narratives. It goes to motivation, right? And you need motivation. Birthdays, revenge narratives. I go with them all, right? Because it does help a lot. But sometimes they ain't shit, right? So let me see here. I did watch Jordan Reed last game, and he looked hyped after a couple of his catches downfield. He got hit. Mullen actually hit him with a couple passes down the middle of the field. He got hyped. Yeah, baby. I like that. I like that stuff. Show me that same energy against your old team. Don't fucking get hurt. But these are like one of these games, man, where you like revenge, juicy matchup, and what happens, right? So look out for that. But I like him because he had 12 points last game, right? 3 receptions, 32 yards, and a tub. That is good that Mullins is finding him at home, and he's back at home again. So definitely look at that. Debo, I don't know what's going on with these guys, man. Mullen, Terry McLaurin, let's start with Terry. Scary Terry, man. It all depends, man. I don't see him getting that much separation. Diggs got separation. Terry is not Diggs. Diggs is the veteran. Terry is great on his routes, but he's still, still a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to learn these hard knocks against Sherman. You know what I'm saying? And I see that happening. And Alex Smith knows the deal. You know what I'm saying? He's been playing against Sherman long enough. So maybe by reputation, I don't think Alex is going to look his way. But one thing I did notice too is this guy still here. This Cam Sims character. Look out for this Cam Sims, man. This Cam Sims had a fucking game. I was looking at him and I was just like, yo, can this guy just stop scoring? He's messing up my line. Like 9 targets, 5 receptions for 92 yards. That's just a lot, right? And if you're assuming that Terry, McLaurin ain't gonna go off, right? If you're playing that game script in your head, McLaurin's not gonna go off, then the next viable person is absolutely Cam Sims, right? Because it seemed like he was just going right to him. It was like, okay, well, I can't get it to Terry, then I have to get it to this next guy, and it was clearly him. So he's clearly the number 2. So well, obviously Logan is like the clear number 2 in a sense. But in terms of wide receivers and getting open, look out for this space. Good GPP. And that's it. I don't have nothing to say about Inman, none of these guys. But that's it, guys. I think we made it. We made it to the end, guys. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Rams. I really don't know. I really don't know what's going on with that life. But Van Jefferson, look out for Van. All right, because he's been getting some touches tonight. So definitely have some 25% exposure if you guys want to find something about him. Nick Folk, I haven't seen any updates recently. Obviously, I'm gonna get off here and go watch some NFL live and check some shit out, guys. Love you guys. If you guys stayed on this long, if you guys need any questions answered or anything, shoot some comments, baby. Right? Let's get it in. Love you guys, man. See y'all Sunday. Yeah. Later. Boop, boop.